I've not done this before, but walking to the local coffee shop with Mr. Barry McGuigan. Barry, you've come to the gym today to watch, Shane train, all the fighters.
Yeah.
Awesome stable of fighters he's got at the minute. Wanted to ask you about the Azim brothers.
Yeah.
They're obviously fighting in a couple of weeks. What do you think of the development that they've had over the last couple of months that they've been under Shane? And
They're great kids, great family, really lovely people. Maybe we should go this way instead. It's not as noisy, and then we can double back.
You've done this before, haven't you?
They're lovely people, and the kids can really fight. Adam is the star, obviously. He's the one who's everybody's looking at, but Hassan can really punch, and he's really coming through, and he's working very hard. Very big puncher, middle to long range. He's working on learning to fight at close range, sparring, and really dedicated kids. And Adam has been out sparring with Conor Ben, and he's been sparring all over the place. So they're getting really a good education. They're very dedicated. Their dad is obsessed with it. He's really focused, and that's what we like to see, because he's completely behind them. So they've got a great future. They've got a huge following. I went to one of their press conferences, and there were loads of people there. So they've got a bright future. Yeah.
Do you think it's quite a key aspect having a dad that's obsessed? Because I see that with Daniel Dubois, having a dad that's behind it all, who's constantly pushing you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, and sometimes it can be not such a good thing. But it is important that the dad is committed to the kids, because it's a long journey, and you need that type of emotional support as well, and we welcome it. It's great, and Daniel's dad is obviously been a tremendous support to him as well, so it's great. It's lovely to see it, and we welcome that, because life's about family.
It is. And I think from a lot of the fights I've seen recently, when Shane's fighters are on, there's one voice you can hear in the crowd, and that's Mr. Barry McGuigan. Is it going to be the same in a couple of weeks' time?
Yeah, you can be sure. I don't change. I'm the same. I'm consistent. And
it's like having an extra dad in your corner.
Well, I care for the kids. I want them to be successful. I live it with them, and when they get hurt, I get hurt. So I want them to be as good as they can be, and I want them to achieve their objective, and that's to maximise the potential. Sometimes it goes as far as British European level, other times it goes as far as world level, and sometimes it doesn't even get that far, but you have to accept it and give them as much support as you can. That's what I love to do. I think we're running out of space.
I think but it's all right.
You turn the other side again.
It's cool. Going back a couple of weeks, I've got to ask you, because I like to ask opinions of people who've been there, done it. Anthony Joshua, a few weeks ago, obviously come unstuck against Usyk. Mm-hmm. What did you make of the fight, and the whole fallout from it as well, with the whole talk of the coaches, having 3 coaches in the corner type of thing?
Right, well look, I'll not walk down there, because it probably would take longer than that. I just don't think he had the right tactics. I know all these guys, and I don't like to be harsh on anybody, but they got it wrong. They got their tactics wrong, and they didn't seem to know how to correct it. They didn't have a plan A or plan B. You heard the story about him asking Clifton Mitchell before he went out and on the night of the fight and that sort of stuff. And, he seemed unsure of himself. He seemed not to know how to approach the fight, which is worrying. And he's a nice kid. I like him a lot, and he's done very well for himself. He seems to have reached a sort of crisis spot in his life, and I've had lots of banter in I do my Daily Mirror column every Friday. It comes out on Friday, and it's out on Saturday.
Get
and we get loads of guys. I can plug in, of course.
It's got to be
done. Give it a plug. But you get different people having different views. Obviously, in relation to the heavyweights, it just seems to come at you sort of 10 times as much. He didn't get it right, and I've said enough about it. I wish him well, and I hope that he can turn it around. But if he doesn't make some drastic changes, he won't beat Usyk, and it'll really be the end of his career. If he loses again to Usyk, and if he loses in a fairly overpowering way or a dramatic way, that really is the end of things, and common sense tells you that. So he's got to make adjustments. I think he needs a new trainer. He needs to get his preparation right, because you don't arrive at a weigh-in or a fight night asking people, what do you think? How do you think I should go about it? I mean, that shows an awful lack of confidence and a lack of preparation. You put guys into the gym and spar that are similar to the way your opponent's going to fight, as close as possible, and you give it flat out every day that you're sparring. You can have days where you go light, but the majority of things should be intense, hard graft, working out plan A and plan B, and plan C if you need it. But never be arriving at an arena not ready to fight, and not ready, with a mental approach to how, and your tactical approach. Seems crazy.
And talking about new trainers, I know Shane mentioned in a recent interview that people from AJ's team did reach out to him, but Shane was quite firm with the fact that you need it to be on Shane's terms. How important do you think that is, and would Shane be the person that could bring them changes?
Shane is a fabulous coach, and he's really good at what he does. I don't need to big him up. He's very much his own man. I get told off all the time, so I keep out of the way. It's none of my business, and it may not be Shane, it may be somebody else, but whoever it is has to have, you only have to have one voice in the corner. You have to have your preparation done, and you have to know how you're going to approach the fight. It may not work, and that's why you have plan B and plan C, but sometimes you use a bit of each, but you get the result, which is the win at the end of the day. And I thoroughly believe that he can beat Usyk. He just needs to be aggressive. He needs to just go at him. Look at what is his advantages. His advantages are his size and his natural strength. Think about Usyk's probably fighting 15 to 20 pounds above what and he's still only weighing 220. It's dead simple. Joshua needs to be aggressive. He needs to throw far more right hands, and he needs to just go get him. That's the way it is. And if you go out on your shield and you get spectacularly knocked out like people say, and I don't believe that, then so be it. But go out fighting and trying, being committed to win.
What I'm trying to say, Shane kind of showed his intentions were right. Like, I'm not in it for the money, I'm going to make you win, but you need to do it on my terms. So he may have American trainers saying, right, give me X amount, and I'm all yours.
Yeah, I mean, there will be loads of very interested guys and very good guys who'd be interested in training Joshua, but the majority of the good guys will not have to play second fiddle to Robert McGuigan. It's as simple as that. And anybody that does is an idiot, absolute idiot. You have to be given the chance to get your man in shape and be focused and prepared and ready. And it's as simple as that. You need one voice in the corner with support, with one voice. And he needs to have plan A, B and C. And if it doesn't work, well then, that's it. At least he's given it his every effort. But I mean, I don't think any trainer worth his weight in salt would be willing to work, one of the good guys won't be willing to work as a second tier. Just won't happen.
And just to wrap up, Barry, the last question. Two of the guys at the top of the tree at the minute in world boxing, Tyson Fury and Canelo. Does anybody in this era beat either of them guys that you see coming up?
Well, the challenge for Canelo would be 175 against Arthur Betabayev. That's the only real challenge for him. But I don't think he even loses to Betabayev. That's how good he is. And at the minute, you've got to put Tyson Fury as number one in the heavyweight division. Usyk could cause him problems, but I still think his weight and his size would play a major part in it. So I would favour Tyson Fury.
Barry, thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you again.
I'm going to let you grab your coffee.
Great. I'm going to go for a coffee.
Thank you.